What did Jesus say about sex? I'm Symon Hill. I'm author of the Upside Down Bible, which explores what Jesus said about money, sex and violence. And let's face it, Christianity is in a mess about sex. Churches are split down the middle about same-sex relationships, and the level of sexual abuse that is coming to light in many churches, Catholic and Protestant, has been a shock and a scandal, and the stories are still emerging. So it's only right we should see what Jesus has to say about marriage and sex and relationships. And one passage that's often cited from Matthew 15 is about an argument about marriage between Jesus and the Pharisees, who were another religious and political faction at the time. They approach Jesus and say, "Is it lawful to divorce our wives for any reason?" Now, this was a big issue at the time. The Jewish community that Jesus was part of was split on the question of when divorce was allowed. Divorce in those days wasn't like divorce now. Only a man could initiate a divorce. Divorce was something that a man did to his wife, throwing her into social disgrace and perhaps poverty. And Jesus replies, "In the beginning they were created male and female." The Pharisees say, "Why does the law of Moses allow us to divorce our wives?" And Jesus says, "Only because you were so hard-hearted was that allowed, but in the beginning it was not so." And he says that a man should not divorce his wife except for adultery. Seems pretty harsh, pretty family values, until we remember that Jesus was talking to men who believed they could divorce their wife for any reason at all. They could throw her out, throw her into poverty without any good explanation, without any agreement from her, without any consideration of wider issues. So Jesus was challenging a system that allowed men to treat women that badly. He was saying they were made male and female. In other words, they are both equal, they are both made in the image of God, and one of them should not be able to treat the other one like that. Perhaps it would read differently if we saw that divorce at the time was more like an abandonment. Is it okay for a man to abandon his wife for any reason? Sometimes this passage is quoted by opponents of same-sex marriage who use it to say, oh, Jesus was in favour of traditional marriage. But actually here we have Jesus saying the law of Moses doesn't go far enough, saying that in the beginning it was not so. In other words, we have Jesus rejecting law and legalism in favour of marriage more truly based on love and equality. Opponents of same-sex marriage quote this passage when they say they oppose attempts to redefine marriage. But marriage has been redefined many times. In this passage, Jesus rejects legalism in favour of love. This is the time when Jesus redefined marriage.